call the meeting to order.
6 o'clock.
Yep.
Read the roll.
Yes, roll call, please.
Browning.
Here.
Campbell. Guerrero.
Here.
Hilbert.
Here.
Kiefer. Here. Stahl.
Here.
Wood.
Here.
Pledge of allegiance. Yes.
If you want.
Mr. Meadows, if you like to lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have no visitors this evening, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we're gonna go straight into press policy update 107.
I think that would be best.
Okay,
Knock that out.
okay,
We can spend as much or a little time as you want on it.
okay.
I've sent out the policy update to you guys. There are two real main sections, a 5-year review and then a draft update. And I've split them into the categories as such. So I guess, do you wanna just work right down through them?
Yep.
And then if anybody has questions as we're going through there, please don't hesitate to stop and ask, but, 10, school district legal status. It's just simply a 5-year review. And it outlines the, sort of the guidelines of what a school district is, and, at this time, there are no changes are recommended. Again, it's just a 5-year review. Questions on that one? Next, 120, district organization, operations, and cooperative agreements. Another 5-year review, no changes are recommended. You can see that the main cooperatives that we participate in are listed below, which are the Macon Pyatt Special Education Cooperative, Heartland Technical Academy, Tri-City CUSD 1 Sports Cooperative, Meridian CUSD number 15, also Sports Cooperative Soccer, and Richland Community College Transfer Academy. Anything on that one? Okay. Next, 130, district philosophy. And that has our mission statement, which the mission of Sangamon Valley Community Unit School District number 9 is to prepare students for a successful journey in life through a commitment to academic excellence, social responsibility, and personal integrity. And when did we review that? Not too long ago, didn't we?
We did when we did our goals.
When we did our goals, and maybe even when we updated the manual, the policy manual, maybe a couple falls ago.
Yeah, the most recent would have been
Just with
our
Patrick,
Yeah.
in June or whenever we did that.
in July, whatever.
So I think that is still updated and accurate. Next is the Open Meetings Act. Again, no changes are recommended. It lists kind of a meetings protocol, and we really don't follow necessarily this format of Exhibit E4. We do somewhat, but it's maybe not as formalized as this. And I really don't know if this, I'm not sure who I'd even ask, if this particular exhibit, if it's something that we have to approve, or if we're not really gonna follow it. I don't know.
Does it have the yes or no on there?
There's no yes or no.
This is just a template. It says, we don't have to, I know there is a template for closed meeting that we've talked about.
But we never
Get it,
updated
I need to
yet.
pull it off, and it would probably be a little easier than what we have, but I can work on that.
Okay. So when we get to that point and I still have it listed to approve it, I would say we go ahead and approve it and move on from there. Next, 3:30 is chain of command. And that is the organizational chart. I believe I attached it to the update, the rationale that I sent. Did everybody can see a copy
I
of it?
didn't find a chart. Did somebody else?
I'm just on my computer, so I have a copy here if you want me to pass it around.
Yeah, here's mine if you wanna take a look at it real quick. It's pretty simple and basic.
Pass mine this way.
Yeah, I don't think I got that. Did you break your chair?
No. I heard something though. Oh, it was the water bottle pop.
Okay.
I thought I dropped the recorder. But we're not recording yet, so.
No.
I thought it was on the back, very end of the email that I sent you guys, but.
And I guess, again, while we're doing this, we sat and went through every individual policy within the last, I got one, I had down, year and a half or so. So, in Join Trust Plus, where we get all these updates automatically, that type of thing, so we went through every individual policy that we have and approved it, and then these are just things that either need to be updated, recommended, or changed. So, that's why we're not getting into each individual policy, because we literally just did that, and it took several meetings, to do that.
There's only one that actually has questions in there.
This time, yeah, and then they're all online, so if you ever have, you wanna go through and read the exact policy, you could do that as well. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's probably good that you mentioned that. Next is using the use of animals in the educational program. It covers animal experiments, no living animals, and, that animal dissection, however, is approved, so no changes to that. Title I program has, really, we've not seen a whole lot of changes in that program over the course of the last few years. But it talks about, it hits a lot on family engagement, and I think we try at that level, and not always to the greatest success. We used to do I don't remember what we called those, where we cooked out and had like a family reading night, and those have been kind of put on hold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there was still
For the
very
last
much
couple of years.
happening, right, until COVID.
Yeah. 7-20, school bus conduct. Again, no changes. And just a review, and then the last one, at least for the 5-year review, misconduct by students with disabilities. And no changes. Moving on to the draft update, 210, school district governance. Basically what has changed in this are the legal references. Let's see. And also, since the pandemic, it allowed public bodies to meet without a physical quorum. And I think that will continue on if there's a public health emergency declared.
And we did take advantage of that last year, where we had 4 of us present most of the time, and then we had others that either zoomed in or phoned in or whatever, so that we weren't all in the same close proximity.
We just are not very well set up for Zoom
No, that didn't go over, it was
board
always better.
meeting very well. But it's probably better to have them in person anyway. Next, 2:30, school board elections, it goes over kind of reviews the election procedure. Again, the legal references are updated, but no changes to the policy itself. 2-120, E1, board member mentor program. I don't know if we have a formal program or not, but if you feel a new board member is in the need of a mentor,
Reach out at any time.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever have had in all the years that I've been here, we just have that brief initial and a learn as you go kind of thing, because it really is kind of changing every month as to what you can expect, so.
well, this summer, we were fortunate to have in June, we did the,
training.
so that, the timing of that worked out pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'll probably need, Mr. Gorecki's help on this, but we have to list, the training that's completed by the board members. I might send you out an email, and if you could, I could probably look on IAS.
It's on IASB, you should be able to see
Or
if they all
IASB.
did it.
Just
Mr. Gregg,
develop a
it's
simple
just a
doc.
Table,
doc.
it's a template that'll give, that you can see, you have to list us when we did our mandatory training.
Good.
Two 130 board superintendent relationship. It's updated in response to the 5-year review, and statutory text previously contained in the same policy's footnote was moved into the policy as a result of the press advisory board feedback. Other than that, no changes. 220, allows access to closed, minute and verbatim recordings. And I think as new board members, you could have a right, if you wanted to go back and listen to some past board meetings, you could come in and see me, and there's a process for granting you access for that. No other changes to that policy. Next, 240 is on board policy development. And, this says that the first part of it is optional, updated in response to subscriber feedback and involving diversity, equity, and inclusion at work at IASB. I think they specifically want to look at throughout this policy manual, words importing, the masculine or feminine gender, include all gender neutral inclusive pronouns. I say we just stick with the policy the way that it's written. Are there any questions about 240? Again, there's not a lot of changes. 240E1, again, that's updated in response to 5-year review, no other changes are recommended. It is kind of a nice document if, for some reason, because of a certain situation, whatever, a board member or maybe somebody from the community comes to you and would like to update board policy or add something to board policy, there's a process for that we can follow. It's pretty outlined and pretty clear, so. Any questions on that one? And 240E2 is developing local policy very similar to the last update. 510 deals with equal employment opportunity and minority recruitment. Probably the main change is that during the hiring process, we would not be allowed to exclude somebody specifically for a conviction record.
Unless it were against children?
Yes, of course, if they're on some sort of list or.
So at that time, you're still legally allowed to, okay. not to get nitpicky, but that seems like that would be important.
Yeah. Next, 6145, migrant students. Updated to 5-year review, no other changes are recommended. I'm trying to see if there's anything to point out. I think the main focus of this is just to make sure that those students that might be coming in to your district, I can remember as a teacher at Eliapo, sometimes we would get, migrant workers,
From the
kids
hotels, yeah.
coming in and it just assures that they have access and equal rights to education. And English learners, we usually have a couple of those each year. I'm not sure if we have any English learners in the district right now. If we did, they have a parent advisory committee that's recommended that we set that up, and I would probably put that in the hands of the principals that are dealing with that on a regular basis and work directly with those parents. 6235, access to electronic networks. Again, I'm not the most techie person in the world, but we do have protections, not only while the kids' devices are here at school, but also some sort of server proxy. I don't even know what that means. I heard that term. That kind of regulates where they go on our devices off of school property as well. I think this is the required question that we have. Do you as a board want to require staff members to sign the authorization as a condition for using the district's electronic equipment?
Do you do that right now?
We currently do not. It's something that I don't think would take a great deal of effort on our part. It's something that we could put in a back to school packet or something and have on record. I don't necessarily see the need for it. It's not been an issue, at least to this point. But we can certainly add that in there, and we could probably send out something to the teachers, and maybe we need to bargain. I don't know.
I think my only comment back to Bob when he said it was, you know, if insurance wasn't requiring it and the lawyers weren't requiring it, I don't know. I always err on the side of caution. I said, yes, sign everything, and just make sure we're covered, but you know, I guess that kind of comes to us if you guys wanna just add it. The students sign it, correct?
Yes.
So that part is already done. It just comes down to if we wanna add the employee part.
I would say anyone that's using district-owned electronic network devices should be signing it.
I agree.
The network itself or just a device? If somebody signs in here on their phone,
The guest network would not count, but you have an access ID.
Any faculty member that would be coming in here would probably have some sort of Chromebook or laptop, and then their
I think it just
Single.
automatically covers us in the event that someone is doing something inappropriate.
We should all sign on.
Since we don't have a,
I'll try to get some sample, maybe other districts would have that for the faculty. I don't know, see what have you exchange over what the students or parents sign off. Maybe just tweaking a few things and then getting it out to the faculty.
okay.
So we are going to answer yes to that.
just attach that sheet then from now on to their contract, when they go sign it, they'll just sign this as well and be done.
Okay. Simple enough. 255, assemblies and ceremonies. Again, mostly legal reference updates for that. No other changes. 260, did you want to say?
Sign contracts for this year?
Sorry, sidebar. Have we signed the contracts for this year?
I don't believe that you have
I
yet.
don't think we have.
I don't know. You did that on the summer. Okay.
No, cause they would've just signed them on the first day, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this meeting, this next meeting, you think? Okay.
Yeah, if you guys want to come in, maybe for the agenda, if you're available to come in
Just one of them. All right.
to develop the agenda for the 22nd, you can do it at that time.
Feels like we just did it, but okay.
Or the phones.
Oh, yeah.
6260, complaints about curriculum instruction materials programs. Parents do have the right to inspect any instruction material used as part of their child's educational curriculum. Persons who believe that the curriculum instruction materials programs violates their rights under law, they should file with the district.
What does it mean for inspection?
What's that?
They have the right to inspect any. What does it mean? Is that the same thing we dealt with last year where the parent wanted to come in and watch the class? Is that discipline to that, or is that,
feel like-
just instruction period?
Yeah, I feel like
Materials?
almost it's like if you're having a sex ed class before your parent signs on, then they should be able to review that material and decide if they want to take part in that
Yeah.
practice.
So then that's the answer to the parent that contacted me about the potential programming coming down from the state that she's not happy with. While the law says she can opt out of it, she can also do a curriculum objection form.
It sounds to me like, yes, that could.
I did not know this until just now, so that's good.
She can also view the curriculum
Yes.
prior to objecting.
I'd recommend that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which we don't have yet, by the way.
No.
No, you know. Let's not get everybody started.
7280, communicable and chronic infectious disease.
Is that this?
Yeah.
What we're going on now. Chapter 410 of the school code pertains to public health. The law required by public health officials to notify the school's principal if the student in the building is tested positive for AIDS or HIV. The building could disclose the identity of the student to the superintendent, nurse, and classroom teacher. That law has been repealed, so we no longer do that.
Well, it's not communicable per se, so I guess I understand that.
And then the last one, 890, parent organizations and booster clubs. They have something highlighted here in green, including on any organization, club websites, and social media accounts. Statement the district will not be responsible for the organization, or the club's business, or the conduct of its members.
That's a good addition.
That's not school sponsored.
And that is, update 107.
Okay.
108 will be coming out relatively soon, and it is a monster.
Is it gonna be a meeting all by itself, do you think?
It'll either be a meeting all by itself, or we could divide it over two. Just depends on what you guys want to do.
Okay.
I think sometimes going through these is more beneficial at an individual meeting than
Yeah.
and a lot of it also has to depend on what you got going on at that particular meeting night. This is typically a little more relaxed sometimes than what a board meeting can turn into. So, when it comes out, I'll get it out to you guys and we can decide at that point how we want to.
Is it expected this fall yet?
Yeah, it'll be out, I would guess, in maybe October. Mid-October.
So at this point, does anybody have any questions on what we just went over? So I need a motion to approve board policy updates. 110, 120, 130, 2220 E4, 330, 6100, 6170, 7220, 7230, 210, 230, 2120 E1, 2120 E2, 2130, 2220 E7, 2240, 2240 E1, 2240 E2, 510, 6145, 6160, 6235, 6255, 6260, 7280, and 809, with the changes made to the internet communications policy, correct?
Let me make sure that that is indeed 220 E. Because on this, I have E2, I had 200. I want to make sure that that was right. No, I had it wrong, a mistake on here. So it is 2220 E4.
Instead of E7.
E4.
Now, it was clear back in the, it was about the 1, 2, 3, the fourth policy that we went over.
Okay.
I was going through to make sure that I included all of those in the,
Under the 5-year review.
yes.
So.
So the
changing
motion was
something in the
correct,
motion?
no, the
Oh,
motion was
sorry,
correct.
Okay.
That was incorrect on my,
All right,
review sheet.
all right, so do I have a motion to approve the board policy updates as I just read?
So moved.
Motion made by Martha Leeper, is there a second?
Second.
Josh Hilbert, call roll please.
Guerrero,
Yes?
Hilbert,
Yes.
Leeper, yes, Stahl,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I need a motion to enter closed session for the reasons stated on the agenda. Motion made by Jessica Browning, is there a second? Yeah, Wood, call roll please.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Leeper, yes, Stahl,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Browning,
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Okay.
I need a motion
Except closed session.
to accept the closed session minutes as read in closed session.
So moved.
Motion made by Jeff Stahl, seconded by Matt Wood, call roll please.
Wood,
Yes.
Browning,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Leeper, yes, Stahl.
Yes.
And,
So we're not gonna do
No.
that until I'll revise them and then send them to you and you can include in the September.
You can tell everyone out in
Right,
YouTube land that we reviewed the board goals and we'll have a,
right, we're going to amend the board goals and we will present them and approve them at the next meeting with changes. And the next regular meeting is scheduled for September 22nd, 6 p.m. And I need a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Josh Helper, is there a second?
Second.
And call roll please. Oh, no, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.